Let me just change the setting real quick. So now I've taken you all 735 miles northwest to a not so far away land called Myanmar. But the catch is, we are no longer in 2024. It's February 1st, 2021, when the entire world is being put under lockdown during the coronavirus outbreak. That morning, you wake up, like usual, to attend online classes or meeting and get the day going, just to find out that all Wi-Fi connections and internet has been cut off, meaning there was no way to get in contact with the world outside of your country, and that your beloved country, one where you were born and raised in, is now under a coup. That's exactly what happened to me and my country. It's almost 4 years since the event. Very little hope for democracy and no certain future for youth. However, one thing certain is that there have been many lives lost along the way, both due to the civil war and the deteriorating healthcare system of my country. As of July 2021, half of all the attacks on healthcare workers across the world were recorded in Myanmar alone. In an era where healthcare workers are supported to feel safe in their working spaces, Myanmar's healthcare workers have been experiencing the complete opposite from the rest of the world. Fear of arrest and death awaits them on a daily basis. By November 2023, over 1,200 attacks were targeted on hospitals and healthcare workers. More than 880 of the healthcare workers were arrested. 117 were severely injured, and 97 of the healthcare workers were killed. This is an image of That Land Township Hospital in 2021. In September that same year, That Land Township was burned, leading to more than 10,000 residents to flee the area and take refuge on the India-Myanmar border. This is the image of That Land Township Hospital in 2023. This area right here is where the hospital was located, and you can clearly see that it's been burned down. As I'm speaking now, over 70% of all the healthcare workers in Myanmar have fled the country, seeking safety elsewhere. Those that were left behind are treating patients under the most difficult of conditions. Working in makeshift hospitals in vulnerable areas, they put their life at risk without a regular salary or a future in their careers. This is a makeshift hospital in Rakhine State, and in this picture you can see patients receiving treatment for malaria in a makeshift hospital. When the coup started in 2021, many public workers joined CDM, Civil Disobedience Movement, where people leave their government jobs as a way of showing resistance to the injustice. The majority of them were healthcare workers. In response to their actions, they were threatened to return to work under unlawful conditions with the lives of their family members and themselves. That is where our valued healthcare workers have faced their deaths, while others were tortured in their cells. And with many of the healthcare workers leaving the country and being arrested, Myanmar is facing a severe healthcare crisis. However, healthcare is not the only crisis Myanmar is facing. An economic crisis has been keeping all the citizens well under the skyrocketing inflation rates. Along with the increase in price of many products across the country, there is also a rise in healthcare costs and, of course, currency exchange. Essential medications have experienced about 200% increase in price. Paracetamol was 1,100 Myanmar kyats, and it has now become 2,500. Metformin was 750 Myanmar kyats, and it has now become 1,300. Due to the inflation rate, many people with diabetes and hypertension have reported to taking reduced dosages of their medication, or even stop taking their prescriptions completely. According to an investigation held by the World Bank and WHO, it was observed that a high percentage of people in Myanmar have been borrowing money in order to pay for healthcare, while others have been selling their assets for healthcare. Among all the hardships that the healthcare sector is facing, The worst is seen in the camps for internally displaced people, IDPs. These are the images of some IDP camps. Ever since February 1st, 2021, there were over 70,000 homes destroyed, leading to over 2.6 million citizens to become internally displaced. Many of them have taken refuge at the international borders, living under unimaginably horrible conditions. They call the trees their home, and clean drinking water have become a luxury for them. During the rainy season, floods would take down their temporary shelters, and mosquitoes would become regular members of the camps. With the addition of lack of hygiene, there has been a high prevalence of malaria and tuberculosis at the international borders, where transportation of necessary medications are being blocked due to the political instability. In the year 2022 alone, there were over 30,000 deaths due to tuberculosis. And within the first year of the coup, the occurrence of malaria due to Plasmodium falciparum and Plasmodium vivax has increased by 60.3% and 78%. As of now, the international borders of Myanmar are struggling with drug-resistant malaria, and people with HIV/AIDS in those areas are also being affected by the lack of antiretroviral medications. According to the Sustainable Development Goal 3 set by the United Nations, it is stated that the organization aims to end the epidemic of AIDS, tuberculosis, malaria, neglected tropical diseases, and combat hepatitis, waterborne diseases, and communicable diseases. And of course, make healthcare accessible to everyone. However, Myanmar seems to just be going in the opposite direction. I think that the broken healthcare system in my country is not just a threat to the people living in Myanmar, but a threat to the entire world. Myanmar borders many countries with high tourist attraction like Thailand and China, and the spread of malaria, drug-resistant malaria, and tuberculosis to those countries and the people visiting those countries are happening now and will continue to happen until Myanmar's political situation stabilizes. This is the malaria map of Myanmar, the red areas showing high cases of malaria. In my country, healthcare is no longer a human right. It has become a battlefield for both the healthcare provider and the patient, while it remains a privilege to those with money and connections. From my talk, I hope you've gained a new perspective on the accessibility of healthcare in certain areas of the world, and I wish you go on about your day thinking about how big it is of a privilege to have easy access to healthcare is. Thank you.